Okay, I think we should continue and wrap up this morning and afternoon we had so far. Thanks a lot for joining also this wrap-up session. I hope you had an interesting morning already, and I hope you had interesting meetings and discussions with our attendees. This session is meant to summarize again what we discussed today, and without further ado, I would like to ask Haydn and also Rolf to take the floor here and to wrap up the session and give us some last tips. So Haydn, please go ahead. I cannot hear Haydn, but I see Rolf.
Hello.
There you are, Haydn. Yes.
Can you hear me? Yes. Right. Okay. If I just bring up a slide. Okay. So to summarize what we saw in the various pitch sessions this morning, I was very keen to see what was being presented because I was trying to work out which sectors were represented by the various pitches. And we saw a number of different interesting application sectors, things like intelligent traffic management. We saw industrial automation, we saw healthcare, we saw agriculture, smart cities, logistics, supply chains, energy, food. So there's food wastage was mentioned in restaurants. So the food and entertainment industries there, public protection, and also disaster management. So there's lots of potential application sectors there. One of the things we didn't see too much was interactions between those sectors, but it's quite interesting to see that there are opportunities for that. In terms of platforms, we saw quite a few platforms being promoted for decentralized systems and edge computing, also edge-to-edge computing, so doing things at the edge itself. Also, people were talking about the web of things. Also, I think something we were looking for, which is good, is that someone was talking about linkages they had with Gaia-X and Excel, because we want these linkages with the larger scale activities as well. Orchestration-wise, people would talk about network management and orchestration systems, so that was good. So that's one of the things we're looking for. AI at the edge, this is actually, it's quite interesting because many people highlight a competence in AI. So there's many people who are working in this area and actually actively engaged in projects in this area. The idea of trustworthiness and risk assessment for trustworthiness in AI was something which was highlighted. And also federated learning at the edge was highlighted as well, which I think is an interesting topic. In terms of test beds, there's a number of test beds out there which people would like people to engage with. So we've got test beds for the edge. We've also got 5G test beds were mentioned as well. And then there's a lot of activity going on in outreach and commercialization. Of course, this is in terms of dissemination, IP protection, also expertise in doing cascade funding, and also in digital transformation for societal impact. So there's many different aspects there which I think could be brought together in a larger project to actually create something which is more rounded, larger project, which covers many of the tick boxes we have, which we highlighted earlier this morning.
I'm sorry, Haydn, but I think we lost you.
Okay.
Can you say
this? So at what point did you lose me?
Just the last few seconds.
The last few seconds. So the thing I was highlighting really is that in terms of all the tick boxes we have for all the things we're looking for in the call, there are many aspects there which are covered. So we can see all the different aspects of that, and certainly the partners that are there could provide the different aspects that are of interest. And the question mark is, how do all of these get together to create a large project? I think we're looking for about 4 or 5 large projects, and the question mark is how do we bring those together? There's plenty of interesting application domains, there's plenty of different technologies there for platforms, there's orchestration mechanisms, there's expertise in AI, etc. But the question mark is how do we create larger projects around those?
Thanks a lot, Haydn. Rolf, do you have anything you would like to add? You're muted still? Yeah.
Okay, now. Thanks, Haydn. I think that gives a bit of a good overview. As mentioned, we're looking at strategic projects on the one hand. On the other hand, we've seen that it's a quite fairly complex technology space. There are many different technology trends which have to be brought together, which could make research very interesting and complex and ambitious. But bear in mind, we are in the beginning of a new program, we are beginning of a new strategy. So basically, we have to start something which is crispy, which is easy to understand. So despite the complexity, looking at the whole technology space, I would recommend that when stripping it down and focusing it, you look at the outcomes as mentioned in the work program text. And obviously, yes, as one of the first outcomes is we're looking for sort of a higher level meta operating system, which is sort of the clue between the cloud and control systems. And how does this framework look like? So don't lose this ground. Secondly, the outcome talks about European autonomy, meaning that we want to have strategic stakeholders in the consortium, which could bring what you develop, what as an operating system could bring to the next level, and that there's potential to reach critical mass in Europe, that we have sort of a European supply chain in that one, and building an open ecosystem around that, what we call open platform and ecosystem. And thirdly, which has been widely discussed, trust and trustworthiness. It's also quite a complex area. So I think I tried to mention it, that we know it might be quite unlikely that you can resolve all that issues within one proposal. So, and here the work program helps you a bit and makes it a bit more specific, saying trust in meta operating systems, in industrial ecosystems, with the key elements of open standards and eventually open source. So that helps you there. So final comment I want to make. I said you need to have an ambitious proposal, a strategic proposal, and still you need a clear and easy to understand storytelling in your proposal. At the end of the day, the proposal will be evaluated by external experts. You have a limited number of pages, so if you pack too much information inside, they lose the ground and and the story. So pay attention that you still have a clear storytelling, even that some of the topics you want to cover cannot be covered then in your work program, but still the story is there. That is quite important. And also you might make use, and there's an opportunity for cascading funds, cascading grants, enabling you to have a bit of an agile development process, meaning that you can pick up some of the research topics for open calls, validating additional technologies, or extending the application space and bringing in some use case from other application areas through open calls. So use the cascading grants, as an element to have an agile development and validation process where you contribute and maximize your impact of the project. So I think that was my main comment. Yes, we know the vision is quite complex. We bring together different technologies. Bear in mind, at the end of the day, you need a good story and clear storytelling, and the impact may guide you to further strip down and focus the proposal. That helps you also then to get the more points on the second criterion, which is the impact. That's all from my side. Thanks very much in your interest. It was an interesting event. I know we are still in the beginning, but I think the event was good to kick off the discussion. Thanks particularly to Verena and Monica and her team for supporting the event and making this happening. And yes, I hope you were inspired, and I wish you good luck for the preparation phase. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Rolf, and also thank you so much, Haydn. It was a pleasure, and I hope that also the attendees had an interesting morning, an interesting day, and that you had the chance to meet interesting potential proposal partners. So thanks to all the pitchers, to all the people who have attended this session. It was a pleasure hosting you. Stay tuned. As mentioned, the pitch presentations, as well the presentations from the European Commission colleagues here, will be shared via the NG IoT channels. So please make sure you follow our newsletter so that you keep posted about this. There will be more opportunities for scheduling one-on-one meetings during the next 2 weeks, starting from now. So you can still schedule one-on-one meetings with all attendees who have registered for the one-on-one meeting slots during the next 2 weeks. Please use this opportunity to find partners, make use of this tool. And thanks so much. It was a pleasure having you. Have a great summer, everybody. Stay safe, and very, very much luck with the proposals. Thank you.